How is everybody?
Good. How are you doing?
All right.
I think we're gonna go ahead and get started. I know I'm cheating just a couple minutes all the time, but it's okay. That is the first to the flag.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Page.
Here.
Val.
Here.
Painter. Here. Wolfersburg.
Here.
Cummings.
Here.
Correct.
Here.
I welcome everyone here tonight, for our meeting. I am going to take just a few seconds here to do a moment of silence for, Corey Thompson. State trooper who passed away. He was one of our hometown state troopers. His family, grew up here, all of them, his grandparents, his, mom and everybody. So, if everyone will please just take a moment of silence and we'll remember his family. Thank you. Appreciate that. Now, we'll go on to something much happier. So I am very pleased to welcome all of you guys here today. And we're so proud of you guys for making us to be proud as state champions. So I have a proclamation for the team. If I don't lose my voice, I will read through it. And then if you don't mind, I'll have the coaches come up first. And then we have a proclamation. I should have enough for all the teammates to come. And you just kind of, and if we can kind of squeeze all in and we'll get like a group picture of all of you guys together. But anyway, our community is very proud of what you guys did, your accomplishments. And so I will read the proclamation, but I'm going to come on down and do it there. So. Is to do these fun things very often. So, proclamation celebrating the St. Joseph Panthers junior high baseball team for winning the 2024 IESA 2A Division Illinois State Baseball Championship. Whereas the Village of St. Joe takes immense pride in recognizing the accomplishments of its youth and the representation of our community through your sportsmanship. And whereas the St. Joseph Panthers junior high baseball team has achieved the prestigious honor of winning the 2024 Illinois Elementary School Association 2A Division Illinois State Baseball Championship. And whereas the dedication of the coaches and the unwavering support of the parents and the fans were crucial to the team's success and their commitment to be commended. And whereas the achievements of the St. Joseph Panthers Junior High baseball team are a testament to the strength of youth athletics in our community, reflecting the values of discipline, sportsmanship, and community pride. Therefore, I, Tammy Foley Bogus, the mayor of the Village of St. Joseph, do hereby proclaim that all citizens of the Village of St. Joe to join me in celebrating and recognizing the remarkable achievements of these young athletes and to express our heartfelt gratitude for their contributions to our community's spirit and pride. So thank you very, very much. Guys did a great job, and my understanding, you guys do work very, very hard to get where you're at. So you have a lot to be proud of. So good job. So if you guys coaches, and then you can help me out, we'll hand these out. Do you want to call them up by name or? I'll let you do it however you want. If you want to do it by name or if you just want them to line up and come through, that's fine too.
Eli Bernowski.
Tammy, careful of the board. Oh, yeah. Congratulations.
Aiden Eldridge.
Yeah. You covered the board, guys.
Jackson 1 year. Brendan Hufford. Carter Peoples.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Mike Shelter. Brock Franzen. Kelton Freeman.
Bye.
Kipton Rosenthal. Logan Wedding. Jasper Snyder. Tyler Smith. Colton McCartney. And Jackson Winning.
I'm gonna give you some extras in case.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna shake all of your hands. So. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. And like I said, we're so very proud of you guys and keep up the good work. If you guys will all be heading to high school next year and maybe you guys can do it again next year, right?
Yeah.
So very good. Congratulations. Thank you. I do thank all of those parents and coaches and things because that's what makes these kids what they are is the hard work and thank you also.
Thank you. All right, guys.
Oh, my God. What have they done now?
He's looking.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hey, Mark. Were you wondering?
Select out for the kids not to see me here.
Either that or I was thinking, he's probably out thinking, oh my God, what have they done? So, all right.
Darn, they all left.
I know, I was hoping maybe someone hanging out with us just because they wanted to, right? Probably not. All right, since all of our public participation left, we'll go on down to the consent agenda, and that's our regular meeting, executive session meetings, and approval of the bills. When you're done with the executive meetings, just you can hand them in to me here. Those.
I do have one question about one bill, Joe.
Okay.
It's on page 7. And the sport ready mix, what's 6 sacks a pair?
I have to go look at the invoice for more detail on that. It's not like we bought 6 for 1. Can I get you more detail after?
That's fine,
Okay.
yeah.
My one comment was that as much as I like them and I think they're doing great things, I am personally not in support of continuing to support, at least at the state level, the tourism foundation for Champaign-Urbana. I just don't know that I fully benefit from it. We don't appear in their handout any more than anyone else does. People like contribute and don't contribute. She's very nice. I think they're doing great things. Their marketing tools are fantastic. I just don't think they benefit the village. And in a world where we have endless money, yes, absolutely, I'm for it. But in a world where we have the budget we have, I don't think it's a good use of $2,000.
Yeah. Joe, do you know off the top of your head, we committed to the ISHA thing, but I don't remember how
We
many.
did.
We did, yeah. How many years was that for?
3, that's,
Was it 3 years? Is the 3 years up?
yeah, there's probably up now.
This will be the last one.
So is that what 1,000 of it is for that and the others the regular? Cause like I went to their site today, you know, and it, over on the left side, it has, all the smaller towns, Arcola, Muhammad, St. Joe, whatever. And I click St. Joe, and when you click St. Joe, 3 things come up: the Wheelhouse, the Kickapoo Rail Trail, and Goshen. That's it. Now, I think then I went to the search bar and typed in St. Joe, and I got like El Toro. But when you click that, on one of the main pages, St. Joe, those are the only 3 things that I saw.
So we have to
Maybe
feed,
deeper
we
in.
have to feed.
Right, that's what I was gonna
Well,
say.
then you don't have to have more.
She does it random rotation between 3, I think that's
Oh.
what she said last time that she was there, so you might be on there 1 month and you might
Yeah,
not
I
be on
see.
there
I mean,
next, but.
And we
I-
talked last time about feeding them more information. That's been a year and we didn't really feed them any more information. And again, this is absolutely nothing against them. And I also just personally don't believe a lot of people going to Champaign are gonna drive out here. We're going. That's my personal.
I agree.
Everybody else.
I agree.
Working on that seat.
I thought we agreed to do it 1 year and not go again, and
Yeah, 'cause
I think the IHSA would move before me, so yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think the ISHA thing was the only thing that we had made a commitment for. And I said, actually, it doesn't have the date on here for how long we did that. We'd have to look back
I
and
think
see,
this is the last year.
was it the last year? Cause I couldn't remember if it was 3 years or 5 years that we committed, but
You know, now you say. that.
probably 3 years
Close to 5
seems
years.
about right.
Mhm.
But maybe it was only 3, because that's all they were getting the commitment for, right?
Yeah.
And then, but now it's been extended.
There was something when they had like the different tastes or eateries, and there's one of them in St. Joe had the top billing one. But I mean, I
That
don't
was
look at
last
it.
year from the last.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think they do that in January, I think.
it's probably one of those things that I guess we're obligated to this now. And so it's one of those things, feed them the information or maybe make more note of it for the businesses and see what.
Yeah, I'd almost feed them information, and then if it doesn't show up, then you've got to read
Yeah.
it, to just say
And-
this isn't benefiting us.
And that's
anymore.
definitely on us. I mean, and I said, and I don't have a good way, I mean, putting more extra responsibility onto Joe, but if the girls, I don't know, have the girls had trouble? I mean, it seemed like I've talked to the girls before about getting a hold of them for different events, just like when we do our Christmas tree lighting and that sort of thing. But I know the one time Ashley kind of acted like she wasn't sure where to send it to. And she was supposed to call, I think, and check with the agency or, with the organization. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't really know, honestly. I would think that, I don't know if we've been sending the events and stuff to them or not. I can follow up on that and see.
Because I agree, we don't take advantage of it enough. And to be fair, I guess, to their organization, if we're not submitting stuff to them, then obviously they're not getting it. And I know that's, what she had kind of mentioned that night too, when we kind of talked a little bit about it was this year or the year before, but,
So I have a question. So for the other businesses, like not just what we do in the village and the municipality, but the other businesses, wouldn't this be something Chamber of Commerce would kind of take care
That's
of?
what I was thinking, the chamber, except that only half the businesses in St. Joe even belong to the chamber, so that wouldn't even be a complete list.
Okay.
There's a
Yeah,
lot that don't belong, because that was my first thought, well, why shouldn't the chamber should submit that, but they don't even have all the businesses.
I would agree with Tammy, even when she came to us about the basketball money, there is so much to do in Champaign, nobody's gonna venture out here and come to Monocle's or the Will House.
Maybe
or-
if we
I
get a
mean,
hotel, then we can revisit it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's what I said. in my
I mean,
email.
that should
We
make
can
sense
get a hotel,
because,
right, and
because
revisit
they
it,
fill up
but-
so quick, but they're gonna
Right.
find us either way, whether
Right.
with that or not, I mean,
Yeah.
7
And
miles out from
And I think the wheelhouse has been good with them because I think they have been able to take advantage of the trail and some of the groups that come out on the trail. And I think some of them have used, that for some advertising, some of their biking events and that sort of thing. So, I think that's where Wheelhouse has probably benefited from that. But they might very well be personally promoting their own stuff too. I don't know how much they do to
No,
try
But
to
I-
get.
And
No,
again,
you
I'd
don't
say,
think so?
along with that, if you click St. Joe, it ought to bring up our website, and I don't think that's
It does.
very well kept either, is it? So I mean, would you even know the events going on in St. Joe if you went to our webpage?
We
I mean,
try
we
to
don't have
keep
a
that.
very inviting webpage to get people, I mean, we could be advertising our own stuff.
Yeah, because
the
we
rail trail
try,
and stuff.
we have the event calendar and stuff on there.
It is on the website and it's listed underneath like the,
And I know this is something Angela has talked about, yes, we need to do, and I said, because we were talking about, with what's going on with Cory.
Cory,
Thompson
I'm like, I
and
can't believe we haven't posted anything on our Facebook page about Cory at all,
stuff.
like the village Facebook page,
But, yeah,
expressing condolences. or
but
anything.
it's, to me, it's almost like we need a dedicated person to do that. And I know Joe tries to keep the girls important, because, we gotta be careful, we don't want just random things to be, so we've had to be more careful.
I'll do it for free.
Hey,
I will send you the information
You're
first,
hired.
so you can okay it, I won't just randomly post it, I will
You're
send it
hired.
to you, you can okay it first, and I will do it for free.
Yeah.
that would be perfect, because I said, I for some reason, the girls, it doesn't seem natural for them to do that. Do you find that being the case?
I think
Or-
free is a good price.
I mean, and I know that they're super busy, so I don't, I don't mean to sound like as negative, like it's, but even like, I think it was the Village Gardeners, and it was just
Yeah.
like, here's a photo album from when they were here and you did the proclamation. There was no, we really want to, there wasn't a whole long, explanation, and maybe it was like buried somewhere in there, but I just think that we need more endearing things to village on.
Get those in with Jack and Angela send you some stuff and he'll review it and I'm all for it. Because I'd be
The
happy.
reason why we tightened up the social media posting is because it didn't have a professional standard at one point. And I tightened that up to where whenever communications go out, that has a little bit of a more consistent professional.
And because you don't post on there very often, like I looked today before I emailed you about Corey Thompson, and the last Facebook post was about the scarecrow, or not scarecrow, about the costume, your parade. One person liked it. And the reason only one person liked it is because it didn't show up in anybody's news feeds because we don't post enough and it doesn't get enough interaction. So Facebook decides that this post isn't important, so it's not gonna, it's never showed up in my news feed. I only saw it because I went directly to our page. And then the last thing before that was like September 18th, so when you post so infrequently,
And see.
the algorithms
those
throw you
are
in the
things
gutter.
that Know far more about me than I do, because I'm not very good at.
Okay, well, you got it, let's move on.
But now.
Get 'em back out now.
She's an algorithm, she's hired.
Yeah, it's like the Halloween thing, I hope it gets out there because that's a Saturday.
I know.
And, I would want plenty of kids to know that, so is Ashley gonna be back tomorrow? So we'll make sure she posted a couple times more this week to make sure it gets out there, but yeah, because I don't understand how that. If you saw how sporadic I was on Facebook, and you would be, oh my gosh, how old is she? No.
And like the baseball boys, it'd be great to throw.
I
baseball
videotaped you
up.
reading the thing and I want to take a picture of the proclamation, and I know Joe took some pictures, but I videotaped it, and I was like, if nothing else, I'll
You
just sound
sound
my
like
own page.
perfect for the
I'm
job.
like, oh, so, take a picture of the back of his shirt when he was standing there.
So I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
I'd second it. Oh, did you get?
Like, is that like with the caveat that we're gonna revisit we've already paid right now, so. for that,
You have not, no, you.
Oh, we
Yeah,
have,
because it's in the packet to be approved.
so what about the,
We almost got to vote on what we've already first and second.
You do that, yes, you do, but.
Yeah.
So it has not been paid until you guys pass the motion to approve the consent agenda, which contains.
But we would agree to pay it previously, but we only agreed to pay one of the two, correct? Is that
Yeah,
right?
we did
Or
Yeah, the-
we gotta read both of them?
Made a motion second, it's up for a vote.
Okay. Can someone?
Go ahead, Mark.
I was just gonna say, you've made a motion and second, so there's discussion. If someone wants to move to amend the motion to do something different, they can. And if someone seconds that, then you vote on that, and if they don't second, then it dies collective second, then you make a vote on the original vote.
so I can make a motion to leave in the IHSA thing that we're previously obligated to, but to amend to remove the other $1,000.
Yeah, and
For
before
the
you make
annual
that motion, a
membership?
quick question for Joe, because he likes to get put on the spot. The $1,000 she'd like to get rid of, is that prepaying for a coming membership, or is that paying an existing or past membership? Or do you know?
It's prepaying for the upcoming year is the way that.
And it's a calendar
That's
year?
calendar year.
Yeah.
Okay. Great, then I'm happy, I'll keep quiet.
I'll second her motion.
Did she make it?
I thought she did.
Well, I said, so if I make a motion to blah, 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 well, then I make a motion that we maintain the obligated IHSA and remove the $1,000 membership that commences January 1st of 2025.
I'll second her motion.
For the new motion with the removal of $1,000, Page,
Yes.
Valley,
Yes.
Painter,
Yes.
Wolfersberger.
Yes.
Cummins,
Yes.
Brett,
No,
5-1, motion passed.
Now you can call a vote on the original motion as amended.
That's what.
No, you just voted on whether or not her amendment would be effective. Now you've got an amended motion that's sitting there that still needs to get voted on.
Okay.
Okay,
consent.
okay. Valley,
Yes.
Painter,
Yeah.
Wolfersberger.
Yes.
Cummins,
Yes.
Brett,
Yes,
Page,
Yes.
motion passed 6-0.
And that motion would have the original person who made the motion and then the person who seconded it before we started it.
Okay.
And then you've got the motion where you were amending that.
Okay.
Now I can shut up.
Down to new business, it's just basically you need to do the formal approval of waiving the subdivision rights. Within our half mile. Jurisdiction for the property we talked about was the. Plant England property that he had his pool on. Property, they were just, he made a great working neighbor, we did the straw vote a while back and. This is just the final paperwork for that, so. Is there a motion?
I make a motion.
Second.
Painter,
Yes.
Wolfersberger.
Yes.
Cummins,
Yes.
Brett,
yes,
Page,
Yes.
Yes.
motion passed 6-0.
All right, second item on the new business is the approval of the quote for the services for the all-weather courts. We finally got a quote. And I forget how many years we've had this to try and get the tennis courts cleaned up and resurfaced. But this is the information for that. This is the quote, but this will also do the layout also to add pickleball with the tennis courts. But it will also give the treatment to cracks, and this is something that to maintain the tennis courts anyway, this is something that needs to be done. It's a maintenance issue. We can have a further discussion later, maybe before spring or whatever. You know, we talked a little bit about adding other courts to it, but this basically is a maintenance thing for our existing tennis courts.
So is this something, if we kept up the maintenance more often, that this price would not be that much?
No, there's nothing you can do with those cracks. If you go out to, I don't think there's anything we can do with cracks unless we get better at how to handle them. But if you look at what they did to the cracks out of the basketball courts that we turned into pickleball courts, the sports complex, they're horrible. I mean,
But isn't that
where-
different surface? Like, isn't like,
It
is the,
seems
is,
like it's the same surface, but
are
maybe
the
it
tennis
is.
courts asphalt? Because that's asphalt from the
Yeah.
basketball courts, right? So
That's
that would
an
be different surfaces.
No, they're both asphalt.
They are. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking the tennis
I've never
courts
heard
was a
of
little
tennis
bit
court
different
being
than
asphalt.
asphalt. Don't they use a
Well,
special
they might have
thing?
a like this where they're gonna put a special coating on it,
Right.
which this is getting like a 2-inch coating over it, correct?
Yeah, that's
So
all.
then that might be what's over the asphalt.
We can get tips for how to maintain it on a more regular basis whenever they redo it. So that way, I think it might be a little bit different than like you would maintain a street, you know what I mean? I think.
Well, I think that's what they try to do out there, was just slap like hot tar in there or whatever, and it was.
And I agree, because I know for the length of time that I've been on this board, I don't recall ever really doing much maintenance on the tennis courts. And I know for many years they weren't used as regularly as they're being used now. And because I know I had someone would come to me from time to time because he just wanted to power wash them because he thought that they looked so bad. And so, you know, I think we need to figure out a better way to make sure we maintain them, because I think we probably could. I don't know for sure, because I'm not an expert on it, but it seems to me like we can probably do better keeping that maintained.
I just feel
In the
that's an
future.
awful lot of money, and if we could do something to protect that moving forward, that would be awesome.
Yeah, and maybe it would just be putting a sealant on it every year. You could be very much correct, like you'd put on concrete, just a sealant every, have a power wash and put a sealant on.
We'll ask how to regular maintenance, so.
Because I know people who have asphalt driveways, I know my mom and dad's asphalt driveway, I think the recommendation is to reseal that every 3 years or something, to keep it from cracking. And,
Jeremy is saying those courts are different way, so
Yeah.
you may be correct.
I just don't think they're, but tennis courts are awful. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
What's the expected like lifespan of the coating? Do we have any idea how long they expect it to?
Well, to the
Last-
standard where everybody's happy with it is one thing versus. What we've done with it is it's probably exceeded its. Satisfactory level by like 5 to 10 years, probably, I would think, so.
Well, but the new one,
The
I
new
think
one
that he's
is
thinking about. the new
They,
one.
oh, they haven't said, and so I would anticipate to be roughly about the same amount of time, but if we maintain it differently, it might. I'll find all that information out. I would just encourage you, I need to be able to tell them. That the 1st of November, so we can get on their schedule, and I really wanna get on their schedule.
All right, I make a motion to approve it.
I second.
Wolfersberger,
Yes.
Cummings,
Yes.
Rath,
Yes,
Page.
Yes, it hasn't been done in like 20 years that you've been involved, is that what you said?
yeah, I don't recall that.
And we couldn't, this was the only quote we could get.
Yeah, you really struggled getting anybody
Right,
to.
that's
I did
not-
find some numbers today I was gonna send you. I didn't know you already had one.
Were they better than this?
I mean, you'd have to
Phone
call.
numbers.
They're
Oh,
actually.
phone numbers, I
Yeah,
thought you
I
meant.
got phone.
Valley,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes,
motion passed 6-0.
Okay, I see no old business. Joe, you have some, you have our updates here that everybody has a copy of. Along with its, the staff report. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
There is an attached, special event permit. They understand that in the future, they'll have to get it in a little bit earlier, but they had a scheduling issue with their original location, so. If you guys are okay with it, just not, I just need a straw poll basically, and I'll work with them to make sure it's whatever they need, so.
it was just supposed to be at the, you're talking about the Monster Smash.
Yeah.
We were gonna have it at the IJ and we moved it to the tennis court, and Jeremy just turned in the thing today, but it was very last minute. He just got the. Okay to move it. Saturday or Sunday or something, so.
Because IGA didn't want you to have it. or-
No, they did.
Oh.
It's just a lot of setup. I mean, everything's all ready to go at Culp. It was more, I think, on us than him. He just is sponsoring it, so we didn't want to offend him if he wanted to have it there. It's just a lot of setup for us that if, like, the last year it rained the night before and then tape was coming up and we had to retape it, and it's just much easier to have it at Culp. So. But,
Yeah, I have no problem.
yeah.
I'm fine.
Yes.
Are you good with it? Caitlin?
Oh, no, I'm fine.
Okay, good, all right, well then that's all I have really.
Do you want, I'll go ahead and let you explain the December meeting. Joe and I was talking about this. We always cancel the second meeting in December because it falls so close to Christmas. But and I'll let Joe explain exactly how the details work, because we're thinking about canceling both of the meetings and just having one kind of more in the middle, so it's not such a long span between the first meeting in December versus first meeting in January. So I'll let Joe explain how we would need to do that.
Really, it's just a scheduling question. Historically, you've always canceled the second meeting in December, like Eric said. But if you wanted to have it more spread in the middle, we would still do a resolution like we have the last couple of years that authorizes certain bills to be paid that are due dates at a certain time that you missed because of a meeting not be taking place. But if we do it on the 17th, it kind of catches everything in the middle. So if you all would be okay with the 17th, then I'll work on getting that stuff together for your next meeting so you can make it
official.
I'm fine with this.
Me too.
Is that everybody?
No, I don't have that calendar stuff, but doesn't matter. I'm not opposing it. I just don't know if I can be so far.
Okay.
I think I'm fine with that.
So everybody's cool, is that?
Yep.
Okay,
Okay, is that all you have, Joe?
That is it.
Okay, Mark,
My report appears on your agenda. I don't have anything.
very good.
We've got our, our tax levy ordinance that we'll have on the agenda for the November meeting.
Mike,
No.
okay, Public Works isn't here. I added, they had their report in with information that they sent. I made a copy of some of my own personal notes on some of the stuff, and I just sent that to you with the highlights. I know I'd given them to Joe too, but I just thought, just for you guys to have some references on some of the various different, and then you can kind of compare that to the list that we got this time, just for your information. The other thing that I have, I'm gonna make mention too, because it was brought to actually my husband's attention, but we actually did try to get the flag half-staff Monday, because for Corey that was listed, and Mike wasn't able to get it half-staff. Joe's gonna have him look at it again, because I still think it's like a 3-piece thing. It seems like, I know mine at home, we can lower it to the next level, so Joe is going to check with Mike again tomorrow and see if they can work with it to get it down to half-staff. But that's why it's currently not half-staff, is because Mike said he wasn't able to do it on that day, so but we're gonna follow up on that. Kind of made mention before, yes, the Halloween parade with the kids is on Saturday at 10 o'clock. The weather looks like it's gonna be great, so I'm looking forward to doing that with our kids. Hopefully we have a great turnout like we had last year. Last year we had close to 60 kids. Yeah, so
Have you considered, reaching out to the grade school office to see if they would add the parade to their announcements? Cause then all the little kids would, their parents would get it.
I might have to go get my little pumpkins. I think I bought 60 last year and dang near,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
all of them, so maybe I better go with 70.
Well, then maybe you don't need to do that, huh?
Yeah, so anyway, so that's really all I had to, they said, I was very, very pleased with our community, with the procession that we had come through town. I think that makes our community look really great, that we're there for the family and very supportive. So it was great to see all the high school kids out. That's always great to see them being involved in things. I think that's important for them also. So, but anyway, trustees, do you have anything to add?
You got a thing or two. So I saw on Facebook that Homer tried to, or at least thinking about hiring a guy for code enforcement out of Vermillion County. And seems like it really got the town in an uproar. So I thought, hey, maybe we ought to mention it. And get it. But
Did they say his name by name?
Dave
Bigger staff.
he,
Bigger staff.
Yeah.
well, that's interesting, because he told me he retired.
Yeah, because I thought that was a same name that we had previously.
Yeah, but I didn't know if maybe we could, if it's something that goes through for them, maybe we could piggyback and see if we could. I don't know how it's, seems like he's just part-time, he's gonna get $50 an hour or something like that for stuff, but he's seems to think he's gonna have some sort of, like it's gonna, I don't know if it's gonna keep him out of the court. Somebody said maybe because they had so many court stuff go through that they figured it was cheaper to hire this guy. But I mean, we just don't ever do anything with this. I know you send letters and stuff like that, but we have no teeth, I think, to do anything. It'd be nice if this guy's able to do it, or if you give him the power to do it. I have no idea.
But well,
But
he sent an email, it's probably been It could have been even not this summer, but the summer before that
Yeah.
he said he's retiring. And then he took a part-time administrator role in another community. And I connected
They
it.
said he lives in Catlin.
Yeah, so, I don't know, I mean, I can check the status with them. but
Well,
I
I'm
can
sure
check by
it's
them.
all gonna play out. They, like I said, they were in an uproar over it, and I think they tabled it from this meeting to hiring, but
Well, maybe now's the time to jump on it.
yeah.
Maybe if Homer's,
Tammy.
maybe if Homer's, taking a pause, that's the time for us to jump in. Yes,
What they have is an ordinance which puts in an administrative review process. And then they have another community which is already doing this, which has the administrative review that would process the tickets, so to speak. And then the concept is that he goes around on his own and picks out problem properties and then approaches the property owner. And if things don't work out real well, he just cuts them a ticket, and then it's processed through this administrative process, kind of like a parking ticket would in Champaign or Bloomington or something. Then ultimately, if the ticket's not paid and things aren't taken care of, then you're still going to go to court to get the enforcement. So the advantage, I think, is that you've got an individual who's not from town who's going around and talking to folks, and that might be better and it might not. So you can kind of see if it works elsewhere. And I don't know his personal story, but he was doing this professionally, and I too understood that he was retired. And he was doing it for a cooperative that he retired from. And apparently he's now out on his own.
Did home inspections.
Well,
For
that was
realtor-
before
for
he,
realtors.
that was before he did this.
Okay.
So he's been doing this kind of thing for a while.
Mark and I, or I don't know if you remember this, but I had set up a meeting for him to talk with Mark and I, and that's when I got the notice he retired.
Oh, okay.
So maybe there's an in with him and somebody in Homer that he like feels like it would be. He knew that we were looking, so he would have reached out, I think, if he was looking to take.
And maybe I'm getting some bad information. I mean, it's all kind of, the thing on Facebook was all kind of like an anonymous
So
poster.
you didn't
and-
verify it with anybody?
Well, who I verified, the two people who live in Homer said they believe it was this Dave Vickers.
If I find out more, I'll update Joe,
Okay,
because I'll probably be in a position to find out more in the next month or so.
You're awesome.
Sometimes I am, but just remember that for the times I'm not. Thank
did you
you.
have something?
no, I thought I said, but.
Does anyone else have anything?
I just wonder, what is this, park bench for McElwee?
Oh, that family was, one in Park Bench, and I think Joe and I would probably have to, at this point, just try it. We used to get them through the, early learning center at the Prince of Peace, the ones with the recycling caps. So now we're just gonna have to find one through one of our catalogs or something that we get, and then the guys will have to work with them.
I mean, who is it, like a memorial bench? or-
Yes, it is for their dad and grandfather, so, but we just need to hunt down a few benches or something and work with the family to get that done, so, and the part of the public works will be a matter of doing the concrete and stuff, so. So that's not entirely their fault, that that hasn't been completed, because the families kind of drug their feet a little bit too, so.
Just curious.
But yeah, and if you have any other questions that you can ask me too, because those are my scribbles. So. Anyway, if no one else is, I am gonna go into closed session.
Are we gonna do something with, or about the tires for the,
Oh, yeah, that wasn't on the agenda, but.
okay, oh, that's fine.
That was just information, just
Okay.
to share information.
Okay.
Is this for personnel?
Yes,
I make a motion to enter into executive session for the limited purpose of discussing the employment performance and compensation of one or more specific village employees pursuant to 5 ILCS 120-2, in parentheses C, in parentheses 1.
I'll second.
Cummins,
Yes.
Brett,
Yes.
Joe, do I need to say
Paige.
anything
Yes.
tonight?
Val,
Yes.
It's another time I, the things I need for tomorrow. Here.
Painter.
Yeah.
Clifford Berger,
Yes.
6 of them.
Just